Okay, we're down here in the high tunnel, the north high tunnel where we're going to put our tomatoes, and we're going to start laying this out, and we're going to start planting tomatoes today. So I've already got my rows. They're the same as the other day. I marked them with this post. And I've got a tape all the way down this row. And I'm going to take this paint thing and paint marker and put a little dot at every 2 foot. That way when I go make my holes, I won't screw it up by getting too close or too far away. So I already got here, so 2, 4, then I'm going to go 6. So I got all that laid out, and I just used this long tape, and this took a while. I don't know, maybe 40 minutes it took to do that, and you can see the difference now. If we had already had the holes in there like next year, we'd already be done. We'd be back up at the house. So now our next step is we got to cut the holes. So I go find my tank and my hole cutter, and we'll get busy on that. I'll show you how we do that. It's not that hard, it just takes time. And like this layouts it's not hard, it just takes time. And we're trying to put the time in now, so in the future it'll be easier. So anyway, that's what happens when you start out new from scratch. And so I'm gonna go find the tank, and we'll get to burning some holes. Alright, so I'm gonna start burning some holes, and this is what I use. It's this has got a name, like a brand name, and I can't remember what it is, but it's like a torch that you burn weeds with or start a fire with. And I'm not going to touch it because it's super hot, but this is a perfect size for my standing plant. It makes a perfect circle. So I think we're going to burn a couple rows and do some planting, and then we'll burn some more and do some more planting. So it hooks to a regular and the harder it gets, the better off it does. So it's just starting to get hot enough. Oh, stay with that. Push it down too hard, it'll knock it out. Oh, no, there it is. Now this is a turn it off here. This is a different ounce, and you seen how easy it was to burn through this. This is a heavy, heavy ounce right here. So, all right, we're gonna plant some tomatoes. All right, these first two rows I'm gonna put the Grand Marshal, and this is our you know, our main tomato. Uh-oh, I'm putting 2 in there, you see that? There it goes. I water these before I put them in there, and sometimes they'll stick. Oh shoot. Okay. You get the gist of it. This is my standing plant. It's one of the best things I've ever bought in my life. This is getting a little worn. Gosh, I don't know how long I've had this. But you can see very little on my knees, none on my knees. Very little bending over. So, and when you get old like me, you know, I should do this farming for old people. And you can see how easy it is. So, we're going to, I'm going to get my farmhand to help me here, and and we're going to get these 2 rows knocked out, and we'll not film them. So we'll be back after we get them done. Okay, it's been about 4 or 5 days since that last little segment there, and we made a couple of boneheaded mistakes, or at least one boneheaded mistake. And we've got all the plants in here, and I'll go over these in just a minute. The rows and the varieties we ended up using. I think I went over the varieties, but I'll show you, kind of briefly go over it again. But I think we recorded some stuff, or tried to, and I didn't push the button, so we lost some of it, but that's alright. It's not that big a deal. But my big stupid thing that I did after that last little segment, when we planted these 2 rows here in the center, we decided, or I decided to go ahead and just cut all the hose, and we cut all the hose, and then we got kind of late, so we went up. I was going to come back the next morning and water these, and I forgot, so the sun came out, and I wasn't able to come back down here until like 3 or 4 o'clock, and both these rows were almost all dead. I think there's like 4 or 5 left. So I killed all my grand marshals, or 2 rows of them, and of course that kind of put me in a panic. And well, first off, it made me kind of mad, because you know, we started them up, babied them and everything, and then you go around and kill them. So I went to, so I do have 1 row left of grand marshals, because I had some left I was going to save as replacements. I always save, you know, 2 or 3, because 2 or 3 is going to die no matter what. So we got 1 row of grand marshals, and we got half a row of Camaros right here, and then finish out that row. I bought those at the school. They're Marglobes, and you can see where the transition changes in this row here. And we grew those last year, and they did really good in the high tunnel. I only grew about 4 or 5, or maybe probably 6. I guess it was a 6-pack, and they did really good. So I just went up there. I got to put a really good deal on them and planted those. So this is half a row of Camaros, half row of Marglobes. This is a whole row of grand marshals, and then this row here is mostly Celebrity Plus, and at the end there's some Jolene's. I think there's a white tag out there where the Jolene's start. That's a new early variety, I think. And the next row, and I got one looks like it's going to die there. is Carolina Golds and some Mountain Majesty and Amelia, and maybe a couple more Jolene. So that row's kind of a mixture of stuff. And then, of course, like I said, Camaros. And this is a whole row. This is something new for us. This is a whole row of paste tomatoes. So we want to do a lot of tomato canning this year. A lot of tomato sauce, whole tomatoes, chili base, and spaghetti base, and salsa. So we'll grow quite a bit of this, and I'm sure there'll be some that we'll sell out of this row, but mainly this is kind of for us, and the aromas, they're a paste tomato. Now the next row, I've got 4, I think they're them hillbilly, and then this is something new for me. It's kind of like a bicolor tomato, and then the rest of that half that row is Cherokee purple, and then I think there's about 8 to 10. I got them marked out there, but there's about 8 or 10 mortgage lifters on the end. So that's pretty much our heirloom. This row right here is our heirloom row, and like I said, they've been in here for about 4 or 5 days, so we're gonna start hitting some fertilizer to them, and they've took pretty good. You can look down in here and see that they've took some root. It usually takes them a few days. I don't usually hit them with the fertilizer until they took pretty good, so mainly you just water them right now, if you don't forget. Because they really need to water, get over that transplant shock, and then, you know, in a few days they'll start going. So you can see all these are a few days been in here. So some got a little bit of sunburn. This one's got a little sunburn on it. It's not a big deal, they'll get over that. You put them in here and that sun reflects off this black, and it gets kind of hot and they get sunburned. But they'll get used to it. So anyway, we're going to hit them with some fertilizer. I'm not going to show that. It's not no big deal. And hopefully we'll start throwing them, you know, start pushing them pretty hard, and we'll have some tomatoes for long. So we only got, we're doing something a little different in here. I don't know if I said this or not. We're cutting down on the number of plants we're putting in these. This year we got roughly 180 in here. I think last year we did 240 something, like 243 or 4 in the other one, and they were just way too close. So we're trying to spread them out a little bit this year. So just a little footnote, and we'll see how it works. Hopefully we'll have better production in this than we have. Of course, we had great production last year, so we'll see how it works out. Hope you liked the video. Everybody makes mistakes. I mean, just overcome them. If you're gonna do a garden, you're gonna make mistakes, so don't worry about all that. So anyway, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up. Support your local farmer. We'll see you down here in the farm in the next video.